Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we figure out what companies are really up to. Today we are diving into a report from National Vision Holdings. It's not exactly a thriller, but there's some boardroom drama and a peek behind the glasses, so to speak. Are they seeing clearly, or are there some vision problems ahead? Let's find out. This report is called an 8K, which companies file to announce big changes to their investors. In this case, it's all about some new faces in the company's leadership and a bit of behind-the-scenes maneuvering. The date of this report is March 17, 2025. That's the day National Vision Holdings made some important decisions. National Vision Holdings Inc., that's the company we're talking about, the one making the changes we're about to decode. They're the ones behind a lot of your favorite vision care stores. So what happened? Item 1401 tells us they entered into something called a cooperation agreement with a group called Engine Capital. Agreements like this usually mean someone is trying to shake things up. Engine Capital is an investment group, meaning they own a chunk of National Vision stock. They probably weren't happy with the way things were going and wanted some changes. To make Engine Capital happy, National Vision made some moves on their board of directors, which is like the company's governing body. First, they made the board bigger, adding 2 new people. The new directors are James McGran and Michael Nicholson. These aren't just random hires, they seem to be part of Engine Capital's plan to influence the company. These guys are going to be directors until the 2025 annual meeting, and National Vision is even going to back them to stay on the board after that. That is, the company is going to try to convince shareholders to vote for them again. There are some conditions in the deal. As long as Engine Capital keeps a significant stake in the company, above 2.5%, they get a say in who replaces these directors if something happens to them. In other words, Engine Capital gets to keep influencing the board as long as they have a good investment in the company. Another thing National Vision agreed to do is to form an advisory committee. It's like a special team within the board that will focus on improving how the company works. This committee will include the 2 new directors, Mr. McGran and Mr. Nicholson, plus 2 other existing board members, D. Randolph Peeler and Susan Summersell Johnson. This whole cooperation agreement has an end date. It's set to end about a month before they start picking nominees for the 2026 annual meeting, unless both sides decide to call it off earlier. That means the agreement lasts for about a year. If you want to read the whole thing, it's available as Exhibit 10.1 attached to this report. Moving on, we find that the report repeats all the board changes that were mentioned before, making sure everyone is aware of these new appointments. McGran is on the compensation committee, which decides how much the executives get paid. Nicholson is on the audit committee, which keeps an eye on the company's financial reporting. And also the nominating and corporate governance committee. The company is saying that these 2 guys are considered independent according to the rules, meaning they aren't too closely tied to the company already. The report provides a little background on the new board members. James McGran is an eye care industry veteran. He's been a CEO, CTO, and CIO at different companies, so he knows the business inside and out. He's been around the block working at big consulting firms like Accenture and IBM, and even used to be a partner at Ernst & Young. He also went to Columbia University. Michael Nicholson is described as a retail expert. He's worked at places like J.Crew and Victoria's Secret with a background in finance and operations. He also used to be an accountant. The company assures us that there aren't any hidden deals or weird connections between them and these new directors, except for this cooperation agreement. Finally, the company issued a press release about all of this so they could tell their story to the public. Now, what does all this mean? An investment group, Engine Capital, clearly wasn't happy with something at National Vision. They pushed for changes and they got them. They got 2 people on the board and they're getting a say in a committee that will focus on operations. This suggests that Engine Capital thinks National Vision could be running things better, maybe more efficiently or more profitably. It's a sign that there's some tension and probably some disagreements about the direction of the company. It will be very interesting to see where they will take the company also. What's my take? National Vision might have some challenges ahead. When a big investor starts pushing for changes, it can mean that there are problems the company isn't addressing on its own. On the other hand, it could be a good thing. Fresh perspectives on the board could lead to new ideas and improvements. It will be very interesting to see where it takes the company. One thing to keep an eye on is whether these changes actually lead to better performance. Are they going to improve their profitability? Are they going to make sure they are innovating and expanding on their market share? And thanks for watching Corporate Decoder. If you found this breakdown helpful, give us a like, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe for more corporate insights. Until next time.